research methodology, research design. Hi everyone. Okay, so today's topic is research design. Okay, when we do research, okay, we need a research design as a guideline to do a research. Okay, so what is research design? A research design provides the framework to be used as a guide in collecting and analyzing data. Okay, so we need a plan or blueprint, okay, of gathering data. So we use the research design, okay, as a guideline. Okay, when we conduct research, okay, the first source of information that should be consulted is secondary data. Okay, so if we have a secondary data, we use the secondary data first. Okay, but if the secondary data is not available or if it's not sufficient to answer our research objective, so we need to collect data using a primary data. Okay, collecting primary data can be accomplished by employing three basic research design. Okay, namely the first one is the exploratory research, the second one is the descriptive research, and the third one is the causal research. Okay, so I will describe in detail these three research design. Okay, so the first research design, exploratory research design. Okay, so synonym to its name, exploratory. Exploratory meaning that we want to explore something new. Okay, or we want to clarify ambiguous problem in a particular situation. Okay, to clarify the thoughts and opinions about the research problem. Okay, normally in the exploratory research design, we have no idea. We have very sufficient information about the problem. Okay, to provide insight on how to do more conclusive research. So therefore, exploratory research design is a theory based. Okay, so that based on the exploratory research design, we can do more conclusive research. Researcher new to the problem. Okay, this is a very fundamental. And then exploratory research is to generate hypothesis for further study. Okay, it's just an insight. Okay, for example, let's say we want to determine what factors, okay, influence the food preference of a certain ethnic group in a certain locality. Okay, so we want to explore. Okay, we want to determine what is the problem. Okay, what is the information that never been explored before. Okay, so in summary, an exploratory research is conducted with the realization that a certain problem of interest exists and it has not been clearly defined. Okay, benda ni dah pernah berlaku, it's happened, and then nobody have been explored. Okay, kalau cari dekat dalam literature review pun very limited information. Okay, for example, kalau dululah kalau kita buat research pasal COVID, okay, memang tak banyak, no research related to COVID. Sekarang ni banyak lah, okay. But when the first time it happened, okay, no information, okay, about COVID-19, okay. So the first researcher who did about COVID-19, okay, that is considered as exploratory research, okay. Contoh kalau dia nak tahu pasal what are the factors, okay, that cause the increasing of the infection of COVID-19, okay. So that will be the exploratory research. So dia explore dululah, okay, kenapa, why is it happen, okay. So it lists down all the possible factors, all the possible causes. Okay, it's more to the exploratory. Dia akan tanya doctors dulu, expert dulu. Okay, dia tak buat survey tau. Dia just, kalau survey put a very small survey. Okay, biasanya dia akan buat interview, okay, to some where the focus group is are the experts, okay, and then the information gathered later on, okay, will be used for further analysis. Okay, and then the findings of exploratory research design are very much general in nature. Okay, it is neither definite nor conclusive. So maksudnya kita tak boleh nak kata apa saja teori yang develop during the exploratory research is true. Okay, contohnya kalau kata kita buat research, the exploratory research, kita kata factors of increasing numbers of COVID-19 because of social distancing, for example. Ini contoh sahajalah. But that is the theory. The theory. So it can be true, it can be not true. So nak tahu benda tu betul ataupun tak betul, then we have to do a hypothesis testing, further analysis. So exploratory research just to get an insight, just to get the idea. The basic difference between exploratory and the other research design is the format of the research design. For exploratory research design, the format is less structured and more flexible than the other approach. Because this is just to explore, just to get the information about the problem occurred. Thus, it suits well for researchers who do not have a deep understanding of the topic, or the topic is new and it is hard to pinpoint the research direction. But the negative side of the exploratory research design, the findings may not be as useful in aiding a marketing decision. Because the sample size collected might not represent the true population. Because remember, exploratory research kita cuma buat interview, kalau buat survey pun just a small sample size, just to get an insight. It doesn't represent the true population. So the main contribution of the exploratory research is to offer basic information on a topic as well as provide direction for a more formal research effort. Just a basic information, so that if any other researcher want to extend the research, they can use the exploratory research as a guideline. So they will see the direction just based on the exploratory research. So the method of exploratory, as I mentioned just now, surveys, interviews, focus group, consultation. So just a small sample size, so just to get the basic information. So the second type of research design, is a descriptive research design. As its name suggests, descriptive research describes something which could be a phenomenon, a current situation, or a characteristic of a group, organization, people, the situation, and so forth. The objective of descriptive research is to describe things such as the market potential, acceptance for a new concept of a restaurant, the demographic profile, attitudes of the consumer, and so forth. So in other words, descriptive research answer the question of who, what, where, when, and how a particular issues or situation. So it is conducted when a researcher has a fairly good understanding of the situation on hand from existing literatures which has a fair amount of information about similar issues or situation, and a researcher's role is to add more to it in terms and of describing it in more detail, especially on characteristic of the problem or situation. So biasanya in a descriptive research, we will explore in detail. We explore the demographic profile, the opinion, the awareness, and then descriptive research usually conducted on a large scale. Okay, so biasanya bila you buat descriptive research, you tak buat sikit-sikit lah, you tak ambil sampel 5, 10, tak. Okay, when you do a descriptive research, okay, you can have a large sample size. Okay, and then normally in the descriptive research, you already identify the problem, okay, based on the exploratory research. Okay, you already gathered all the information, okay, based on the literature review. Okay, descriptive studies can be classified as either cross-sectional or longitudinal. Okay, so what is the cross-sectional and longitudinal study? Okay, so let me start with the cross-sectional. With the longitudinal. Okay, longitudinal study design, okay, sample of respondents who are studied over a period of time. Okay, we also call longitudinal study design as a panel data. Okay, if you collect data, you have a variable, okay, and then collected repeatedly, okay, over time. So that is a longitudinal study design. Okay, so longitudinal study design and able to compare at different point of time. Okay, contohlah you buat research tahun ni, okay, and then you ada buat research tahun lepas, okay, and then you ada buat research tahun depan pun akan buat jugalah, let's say. Okay, so you will do a comparison. Okay, is there any difference or not? Okay, in a level of awareness, contohlah level of awareness towards online security banking, for example. Okay, so ada beza tak the level of awareness, okay, before, after, or during the MCO, for example. Okay, there is a research, okay, in UK, okay, dia buat longitudinal study, okay, where they took a sample of, I'm not sure, 1,000 babies, okay, and then they recorded the growth, okay, of the babies, 5 tahun, 10 tahun, every 5 years, okay, and then they determine, okay, the development and also how they grow up and then what they become, okay, after 40 years. Okay, so kajian tu dah 40 tahun lah. Okay, so daripada 1,000 tu, okay, berapa orang yang berjaya, berapa yang pergi universiti. Okay, so they did a longitudinal study. Ada beza tak kalau dia duduk dekat bandar dengan duduk dekat luar bandar? Okay, and then but the problem with the longitudinal study is if the subject, okay, defect, okay, ataupun the subject, kalau tiba-tiba subjek tu meninggal dunia, okay, so it is considered as a missing value. Okay, and then respondents might be biased. Okay, sometimes when we do a longitudinal study design, okay, there is a possibility that the subject, okay, tend to change because as the time pass by, okay, because of the time itself, okay, and then because they know that, okay, we are the respondent are being watched, okay, or being studied, okay, so therefore bila kita buat longitudinal study, okay, we must take into consideration, okay, of the bias of the respondent. Macam kita lah, kalau kita tengok, kalau orang tengok kita tahu kita ni ada orang, kita ni kajian, okay, ada orang buat kajian pasal kita, okay, of course we try to do our best, okay, to show the best of us, okay, apa yang terbaik lah, okay, tak kita nak tunjuk kita ni jahat tu tak, okay, so that can be a bias. Okay, cross-sectional study design. Okay, this is quite common. Okay, cross-sectional study design, one short research study at a given point of time. Okay, so when you do a cross-sectional study design, okay, the conclusion is only valid during the period of research being conducted. Okay, contohlah macam you buat pasal depression, okay, among student during MCO. Okay, So you collect data daripada bulan Mac 2020 sampai Jun 2020. Okay, so the conclusion or the result that you get from the analysis, okay, is only for that particular period. Okay, so you tak boleh kata nanti you cannot generalize your result, okay, for the other situation. Okay, you cannot katakanlah waktu you collect data tu adalah waktu MCO. Okay, the level of depression is during MCO. Okay, kalau you collect data selepas MCO, the result might be different. Okay, you cannot make a generalization. You only can make a generalization during that period. Okay, so the next research design, okay, is a causal research design, or also called as the experimental research design. Okay, causal research design, okay, seeks to establish the cause and effect relationship among the variables of interest by employing controls and condition. Okay, and then in causal research, okay, we use a theoretical framework. Okay, so kalau you punya research, okay, to investigate the cause and effect relationship between variables, and then you suspect that one variable affect to the another variable, so that is a causal research design. Okay, so the major objective, okay, of this research design is to obtain evidence to test hypothesis, okay, regarding cause and effect relationship. Okay, so biasanya kalau you ada buat regression analysis lah, okay, so you do a causal research design. Okay, so this type of research is more suitable to be conducted when some background information, knowledge or understanding about a certain problem are already known or exist in the literature. Okay, for example, let's say you dah tahu dah, okay, kalau based on the literature review lah, okay, so if you are burnt out, okay, you are tend to be more depressed. Okay, so that is based on the literature review. Okay, so you want to test, is it true or not? Okay, so that will be under the causal research or causal design. Okay, so therefore it bears that causal research, it built on the other two research design previously explained, okay, the exploratory and the descriptive research. Okay, to get a clearer picture of the problem. Okay, so biasanya daripada causal research ni based on the exploratory and also from the descriptive research. Okay, thus a researcher can experiment on manipulating the hypothesized independent variable on the dependent variable and then see the effect or outcome. Okay, so remember the independent variable is the variable that can be manipulated. Okay, kita tengok effect of burnout, apa lagi? Okay, the quality of sleep. Okay, the food consumption, does it affect the level of depression? Okay, so we must check, okay, whether these factors does affect the explanatory variable or not. Okay, or in experimental research design, okay, kalau you ada buat eksperimen, okay, kita nak tengok what are the factors, okay, that influence the growth, okay, of a tree, for example. Okay, what are the factors that cause infection, okay, of COVID-19, for example. Okay, so we want to determine the cause and effect, so that's why we use a causal research design. Okay, so when you want to conduct, okay, a research, okay, you need to determine the research design, whether your research design is a causal research, okay, whether your research is a descriptive research design, or is exploratory research design.
Thank you for watching.